Hello, KMA friends, tribe, students, teachers, everyone. I hope that you are having a great day and an awesome new year so far. Today, I want to share with you three hacks. It may actually be four, since the first one's going to be a couple, that can help you truly make 2024 your best year ever. They've been helping me so far, putting a lot of energy and focus on making sure that I'm actually practicing what I'm about to preach. And so I'm hoping that it will be helpful for you. And the first one is to harness the power of habit and ritual. Okay. So listen, first of all, most people know that thing actually happens until nothing changes until you change something that you do daily. And this is where we talk about habit, right? So in other words, like you may know that I really believe in the importance of time management in the way of just because you can't manage time, but you can manage yourself within the time, right? So having a planner to manage your daily task and track your goals and such and all of those things. But another really useful thing you can do with a good planner is something called a tracker or a rhythm register. They're called different things in different places. What it means is just make sure that when you set your goals, you decide, okay, what habits would I have to develop to become the person that accomplishes those goals? And then you track, you say, okay, look, I'm going to work out 5 times a week. I'm going to eat like this. I'm going to make this many calls a day, or whatever the thing is. And then you actually keep track so that at the end of each week, you can do an analysis and see where you're at. And then I said rituals. Here's what I mean by rituals. This morning, I got up at 6 a.m. and I sat down. I had my silence and prayer time. And then after that, I visualized my day in my planner, just pulled it out and remembered what meetings and obligations I have today. And then after visualizing my day, I wrote. Most days I'm actually writing my blogs, for tampacrawmaguy.com. And then some days I also, I do something else because I already pre-wrote a few days. And so like this morning, I actually created the 52-week rotation of book study lessons of the week I'm going to be doing for my students. But anyway, all that happened before I went. This morning was my 3-mile walk around the lake with Sassy. That was my exercise for the morning. Actually, between those two, I had coffee time with Barb, which I always do, and then finished with one more cup of coffee with her after the walk before I got here to work. Anyway, the point of the story, though, is that is pretty much some version of that is my ritual every morning. It always starts with prayer and visualization, and then writing, and then coffee time, and some kind of exercise, and then maybe I'll do a little reading too, or maybe not, right? And then depending on how much time I got left, and then I'm off to work. In the evenings, I come home. I have my downtime with Barbara. We have our meal and maybe even watch a little TV. We relax together. But because one of my rituals is that there is no blue light, there's no TV or computer or phone or anything the last hour before bed. But in that last hour, I make sure that I pull out my planner. I do my end of day. I review. I see if I accomplished everything, do what I got to do with everything. I identify my wins for the day. I'm reviewing. In the morning, I did visualization to create a plan and say, this is what I'm going to do today. At the end of the day, I review it and I decide what I've done. And then I go on and I prepare for next day, both in the planner first, visualization, and then, of course, actually like putting out my workout clothes and doing the things I need to do to be ready for the next day. And then it's get tucked in bedtime, right? And I'll get the little rituals there with my Krav is the dog that sleeps with me. And then, so rituals, no more. That was enough of the explanation of mine. Really, the point is rituals are something that you just get used to. I'm going to do this every morning. I'm going to do this every evening. Like habit, it causes you not to have to think so much. It does. You stop wasting time on deciding what you should do. And that's number one. And number two is that, of course, the more that we do something and the more routine that ritual, those habits become, the better we get at them as well. They come naturally. And this is a perfect example, right? Hopefully, I'm doing a pretty good job talking to you today. I got to tell you, the first time many years ago that I recorded myself, it was not at all smooth. Anything we do over time gets better, and that's why these kinds of habits are so important. All right, on to hack number 2, because that was a long explanation of hack number 1. Hack number 2 is that which gets measured gets done. So whether we're talking about personal goals or professional goals or whatever, you have to have metrics. I'm going to use a personal one that we have started, Barbara and I, and while it tracks activity and everything too, which is ultimately cool, the reason I really wanted this ring that tracks all the activity is because I wanted to improve the quality of my sleep. And so what's really neat is that, this device measures all that stuff. Like I know that I have 7,870 steps today, and that I got 7 hours and 10 minutes of sleep last night. And it'll even tell me, how many hours I had awake in REM state, light sleep, deep sleep. It gives you all the data. And then, of course, the idea being that once you know, you can make it better, right? When metrics in any area let you know where it is that you need to improve, where you're doing well, and you need to keep doing those things, and where you need to improve. So hack number 1 is harness the power of habit and ritual. And number 2 is measure that which you want to be done. And number 3 is something that I talk about all the time, focus. It's the first black belt superpower in my book, right? If you don't know, this is the book I'm talking about, Developing Your Superpower. All of my students have it. And in fact, we are. It's what we're studying right now as a tribe. But in chapter 1 is about focus. And the focus that I specifically want to refer to in these 3 hacks is to block out distraction, to avoid distraction. Because listen, you can do all the other things I said, and if you allow the politicians, the marketing, the news, if you allow the myriad of distractions vying for your time, energy, and attention to have a stronger pull than you do, right? If you allow the distractions to control you instead of you controlling yourself and letting your goals and aspirations for this year pull you, make that your focus. Focus on your big, important goals this year, not on all the distractions, and you'll make it your best year ever. Prepare to live, empower, lead. I'm Grandmaster Stephen Doak Steele with Krav Maga Martial Arts, and we'll see you real soon.